Hey there, and welcome back to Bath Time with Brielle. Today in my bath we have a Lush bubble bar. The one I'm using in the bath right now is called Bright Side, and it's really nice and citrusy. It smells really good, and I mean, look at these bubbles. So this episode is about slut shaming, and this episode is dedicated to my sorry ass excuse for a father. He decided to take the time out of his day to slut shame me for having this show. First of all, Dad, thanks for watching. You could like and subscribe below. So you left when I was 4, and you somehow think your judgment on how I live my life matters. Which is hilarious. You don't know me. I'm proud of the woman I've become. I'm a kind, hardworking, badass fucking bitch. And I will never apologize for being comfortable in my body. And guess what? I'm an adult. I have safe and consensual sex. Wow. You may think it's dangerous for me to, vent about my sex life on the internet, but it's not fucking venting, you asshole. Sex education is so important, especially in this political climate, and I'm gonna keep talking about it. I'm gonna keep making this show, and I'm gonna keep fucking. And I don't give a shit what you think. I get it. You feel guilty that you weren't around, and now your daughter is a slut. How embarrassing! You know what's really embarrassing? The fact that you are a weak-ass piece of shit who didn't stay around to raise his daughter. And now on to the rest of the show. How did you go from being religious and modest to being open and comfortable with your body? I feel like I talked about this on a previous episode, but I used to be super religious in middle school and high school. I went to 2 different youth groups, and I used to stand around the flagpole before school and hold hands and say prayers before class started. I was deep in it with Jesus. It was definitely a gradual process. It didn't happen overnight. I wasn't just okay, now I don't feel shame about sex anymore. I really had to unlearn a lot of what I had been taught. One story that really sticks with me is when we were away at Beach Freak, which was a week-long youth retreat. They did this a lot, but they would separate the boys and the girls. And this one woman told us this story about this woman who masturbated before she got married. And when she finally had sex on her wedding night, her husband couldn't please her because she had masturbated. There's so many things wrong with that story. I don't even know if it's true or they were just making it up to scare us, but that's the kind of stuff I was being told. And I'm sure a lot of you guys who grew up religious were told similar things. It took until I was in college to really develop that relationship with my sexuality. I didn't even start having sex until I was 20. One thing I think that changed my opinions is being around friends who were really comfortable with their sexuality. Definitely took time, it didn't happen overnight, and sometimes I still struggle with shame. But I've come a really long way. Next question. You use the terms slut and hoe very freely. What do those words mean to you? I love the word slut. For me, it's a lot about changing the connotation of a word that's otherwise oppressive. Slut and hoe are meant to be these derogatory terms for women who are sexually liberated. And I just don't see a problem with sexual liberation. I don't know, I just think that we really give words the power that they have, and so if we could reclaim those terms and make them our own and find power in them, then no one could really tear us down. If you see the word slut as a positive thing and someone calls you a slut, you're gonna be like, thank you, wow, yes I am sexually empowered. Thanks so much. Next question. How do we dismantle the double standard between men and women surrounding sex? And you've probably definitely felt this. If a dude sleeps with lots of women, then he's a ladies' man. But when a woman does it, it's degrading and she has no self-worth and she's not someone you can marry, which is such bullshit. I think it's tough, I think it's going to take a while, but I think we're getting there. Society really loves controlling women and telling us what we can and can't do with our bodies. We have to speak up for ourselves and we have to speak up for others. Last question. How do I reach optimal hoe levels? Drink water, dismantle the patriarchy, become an ally for all marginalized people, and live your best fucking life. Remember, you don't have to have sex to be a hoe. As long as you're comfortable with who you are and your sexual freedom, you could be a fucking hoe. I haven't had sex in months, and I feel like I have reached beyond optimal hoe levels. That has been another episode of Bath Time with Brielle. I love you, and remember, don't let anyone make you feel like you're less than you are. Have a great week, my sluts.